How do I pack a pipe? I will show you. The first thing I need to do is figure out what tobacco I'm going to use. I've got one or two options handy. There we go. We'll do a little Norman Rockwell. Like this one. So since this one's in a tin, I'm just going to use the tin as my bowl there, my dish. So I can throw this out of the way. Opinions vary on how to properly pack a pipe. I also have to pick a pipe. Padre Pio. The main consensus is that you need to have proper airflow through the pipe in order to smoke it nice and low and slow. And that is the name of the game, is smoking it slow. So how do you maintain proper airflow through the pipe? I will tell you how I do it, how I prefer to do it. And I'm sure there will be more naysayers than people in agreement, but we will also do an experiment to prove my point. So here's what I like to do. I will put the tobacco in very, very lightly. Now what you're gonna want to end up with is lighter pack in the bottom of the bowl and firmer pack at the top of the bowl. That way it'll hold a cherry, and the heavier, more packed portion as the tobacco burns will slowly go lower and lower into the bowl. So as you tamp ash, you're actually repacking the pipe down the tobacco chamber as it burns. Some people will do a light pinch of tobacco and put it in the bottom, a medium pinch of tobacco, put it in the middle, and a tight pinch or a tightened wad and put it in the top. I don't do that. So I've got it filled up here, very, very loose, okay? And then I am going to take a 32-gram brass tamper. This one happens to be one of these night tampers that we sell. So 32 to 34 grams is the money zone for me with ribbon tobacco, how I like it. So I've got it super loose, okay? I might give it a few small taps on my knee or on a mouse pad just to help that settle into some of those really big empty air voids in the tobacco column. And then I take the tamper and I just use the weight of that 32-gram tamper. It barely does anything, but it does firm up the top. Now, some of you may say you're tamping the entire column. It's squeezing the tobacco together all the way down. You're ruining it. Let's see if I can talk English this time. I am not ruining the pack. It's perfect. And I'll show you why shortly. But I use that 32-gram tamper, and I get a nice flattened, compressed top layer, okay? Then I light it. Now, when you first light the tobacco, the leaves are going to curl up. Totally normal. That's fine. That's actually good. So then you take a tamper. It could be, regular tamper tool. It could be a fancy brass tamper. You'll flatten those charred leaves back down. Again, I just use the weight of the 32-gram tamper. Then relight. This is normal. Man, I tell you what, these butane Zippos are beautiful. I love this thing. It's so nice. It's perfect. Super perfect. So now the tobacco is lit. And I look awesome. And I feel awesome. Or maybe it'll just go out again on me. And I will re-tamper it. Because that happens. Maybe I'm not awesome. Tolkien would be proud. Now, this is with ribbon cut tobacco. There's different cuts of tobacco. You're going to have cake, ready rubbed, cube cut. Cube cut is actually, let me talk about that really quick. Cube cut is awesome. Opinions will vary. Crooner. Crooner is cube cut. Crooner is good stuff. But cube cut kind of looks like chopped up ribbon cut. It's really more akin to chopped up Ready Rub, but I don't pack that at all. I drop it in as loose as I can drop it in, light the top, and tamp it, and it's perfect because there isn't as much, it doesn't catch as much air gap because the pieces are so small when you put it in the pipe. Now this is going to be different than you have with cake or with Ready Rubbed. Ready Rubbed is like chunks that are sliced off of a cake, and then it goes through this little roller thing, and it gives you little stringies. Some people will pack a pipe with Ready Rub just as it is. I like to pick it apart and put it in, personal preference. But most tobacco in the U.S. right now is ribbon cut. So that's what we're doing. I pour my sorrows into a briar bowl. All right, so now we're going to look at a experiment, and here it is.
What we have here is a piece of clear poly tubing that is standing in for our pipe as a way to see the tobacco column. So that's actually just a wine bottle cork in the bottom. And you can see I'm packing it really loose. So I'll give it a few little taps here just to fill in some of those open areas in the column. And I'll fill the rest up here. Give another little tap. And then comes that 32 to 34 gram brass tamper. Now, again, this is just the weight of the tamper that I'm using to push down on it. If you look really closely, you can see it's actually not affecting the bottom half of the column. So here's a replay with some labels on there. You can actually look and watch. The compression is staying in the top half of the column. Actually, most of the compression is in the top 1/4 of the column. Now for funsies, we'll take another tamper and we'll just smush it so you can see. If I keep going past that point, it will gradually compress deeper and deeper until you are compressing the tobacco at the bottom of the tobacco chamber. And you don't want that.
Hopefully you found this video informative, and if you mess it up, you just pour the tobacco out and repack it. It's not a big deal. Do check to make sure that there aren't any blockages in the line. If you're still not getting good airflow, stick a pipe cleaner through there or a toothpick or whatever you got, and you should be off and smoking. So thank you for watching. Have a great day. God bless.